This game is pure nightmare fuel. Not because it's scary. No. Probably because it's one of the most difficult FPS games that I've ever played. Welcome to Blood. Blood was released in 1997, same year that some other great games such as Quake 2 were released. It was developed by Monolith Productions and it was made on the Build engine, which you may also know as being the engine that games such as Duke Nukem and Shadow Warrior were built on.
Row your boat gently down to the stream.
So yeah, let's talk about the story of Blood. Never mind. There is a story to this game, and apparently it's quite good and somewhat important to the game, but when I played through it, I didn't get any of the cutscenes play for me, so I have absolutely no idea what happened.
My slaves.
No way!
As the gameplay is what I'm here for with this game. The first chapter has 7 levels in it, 8 if you include the secret level, so let's not waste any time and let's jump right into this game.
I live again.
That is one of the coldest lines I've ever heard in an FPS game, and I would honestly put it up there with lines such as,
"What if you miss?"
I won't.
and even,
You will be worse. Rip and tear until it is done.
I did manage to find the dynamite pretty early in this first level, and by pretty early I mean literally right as the game starts. I only found this because I watched Civi11's video previously, and knew where pretty much all the secrets were in this first level. That's twice I've mentioned Civi11 in the past 2 videos. Civi and Beansprout collab? I'm joking. Oh, that would be pretty cool actually. Anyway, when you step outside you get greeted with your first 2 enemies, which are these zombies, and they take ages to kill. And then I moved on to this big open area, where I immediately got lasered by the first cultist I saw. This is where I decided to turn the difficulty down. I was going to play the game on Well Done, which is the equivalent of this game's hard mode, but I then moved it down to Lightly Broiled, which is pretty much this game's normal mode. But yeah, once I made my way back to this area, I then picked up a flare gun, and then decided to melt every single enemy I saw with it. Literally melt them. I then progressed into this church? I think it's a church. And there you guessed it, blew up more cultists. Oh, and I also exploded a bunch of rats with this TNT. I hate the rats, they're the worst enemy in this game. Having made our way through, we get to these 2 cultists, who, of course, we kill them. And then move on to... This level has a pretty cool start, with us blowing up these massive barrels to clear a path forward.
Fresh victims for the ever-growing army of the undead.
And might I just add that the Build engine's explosions are really cool looking. I also got the sawed-off shotgun here. It's not the most powerful shotgun in a game like this, however it gets the job done, and you'll be needing it quite a lot throughout this game's campaign. This level really helped me to start understanding the hit scanners a lot more, and also what I should be doing about them. Speaking of hit scanners, this level also introduces us to a new enemy that I'd like to specifically talk about here. This is the Tommy Gun Cultist, and he's basically if you took Doom 2's Chain Gunner and John Wick and put them in a blender. Anyway, we do also get the most mature joke I've ever heard in an FPS game told here.
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Just? First name Hugh.
But yeah, anyway, the goal of this level is to get to this train, and you know how we do that? Alright, so now that all the enemies are dead... Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so yeah, now that I've removed all the cultists from this world, I then went and boarded the train. This is my favourite level in the first episode, mostly because it's a train level and train levels are amazing. This level gave me even more proof of how deadly the hit scanners are though, as it often had me boxed in these long open corridors, getting absolutely melted by them. Oh, and you see this room with all the boxes? I spent about half an hour trying to beat this room, as I kept dying and had to do it over and over and over again. But right after this room, we do get to my favourite part of the game, which is this big dining room carriage on the train, full of hit scan enemies, which I absolutely mowed through using the Guns Akimbo power-up. Oh, and I also discovered this game has working mirrors in this level, which is something that a lot of modern games lack. Take notes, modern developers.
Whoa! Oh, just me.
Eventually, we end up exploding the train, which is awesome. And due to the crash, we end up at... This is also one of my favourite levels. It feels like the game is a lot more liberal with how it uses open spaces and large amounts of enemies here, allowing for you to get more creative with how you dispatch said enemies.
I want Jojo! I want Jojo! Jojo! Jojo!
I also spent a bit of my time casually playing some of the Funfair games.
This is better than Cruel-Aid.
Which was really fun. However, despite how fun this level was, I really don't have a lot to say on it. The environment was really cool, and I think they did a really good job at selling this dark carnival. And it's one of the best levels in the game, but again, I don't have anything to say about it. Oh, but I did find this though. Hold on, this is E1M8? Did you just skip 4 levels, Beansprout? Well, no, this is a secret level. It starts off with this big open combat arena.
When's the hurting stop?
And then, once you enter the House of Horrors...
Over the lips, through the gums, look out to me, here I come.
You get to slide around on these really fast water slides and zoom around the whole level. I did also get lost while I was playing this level. But when I eventually found out where I was actually meant to be going, I was given this huge horde of enemies to absolutely blast my way through, which was so fun. But that's pretty much all the fun stuff in this level. Alright, snap back to reality. I mean, the normal levels. That was a cool opening to a level. This one took me absolutely ages to beat, as I just kept dying over and over and over again, with the kind of annoying amounts of hit scanners in these small, irritating areas where you just get killed as soon as you turn the corner. I died so many times that I rage quit and I had to come back to the game the next day. When I did come back to the game, I found out a brilliant solution for all these hit scanners. I just blew them all up with the napalm launcher. I mean, there was a really cool bit with the Guns Akimbo power up where I just melted through everything in my way, and that was the real highlight of this level. After all of the struggle though, I did end up enduring the level, and I did manage to complete it. I still hate this level though. Yeah, this level's the worst. This was one of the most fun levels in the game. I've said that quite a lot in this video, haven't I? It was absolutely packed with enemies, and although it was one of the tougher levels, unlike the previous level, I enjoyed this one a lot more, because the game still managed to keep itself satisfying and fun to play while also being challenging. It took me quite some time to beat actually, as I did keep dying over and over again in this certain area, but in this level I really didn't mind that because the challenge was fun, and not just annoying. However, these rocket things coming out of the wall can go die in a hole, as I didn't actually realise what I was meant to do with them at first, and thought that I couldn't progress. Oh, but this turny thing was one of the coolest parts of this level. This was a real highlight of the game. I don't know why, it was just so satisfying. But now, we enter
Show yourself! Show yourself!
First of all, this level title sounds like it'd be the name of a metal band. Second of all, this is in fact the final level, and it is in fact a boss fight. Here we fight this big gargoyle guy, and I am not even going to attempt to pronounce his name.
Chio.
But honestly, this was one of the most disappointing parts of this game, and honestly might be one of the most disappointing boss fights I have ever played. The whole game up until this point was very challenging, but it was fun, but this was just way too easy and just kind of boring. The boss barely even scratched me while I played it, and I just melted through him with all my weapons. It's by far the easiest level in the entire game so far. Despite this unsatisfying ending, however, I am still intrigued to play more Blood, which will be coming in a future video hopefully. But before we get to that, have you ever played the worst Quake game? Well, if you'd like to learn more about that, then I highly recommend you watch the video right there to find out more.